Everyone, I would like to talk a little bit about even and odd integers. So first of all, let's take a look at two definitions, and I have these at the top of the screen. The first definition says that an even integer can be expressed as n equals 2 times k, where k is some integer. And an odd integer can be expressed as n equals 2k plus 1, where k is an integer. So as an example, let us show that 3 is odd. Now we know 3 is an odd integer. We can show this by writing 3 equals 2 times k plus 1, where k is an integer. Well, what integer should we choose? Well, let's see. If k equals 1, that'll do the trick. I'll make my k's look alike, right? Because 3 equals 2 times k equals 1 plus 1, that equals 3. Therefore, I've shown 3 is odd using the definition. All right, so something that you're likely to see on homework goes like this. Suppose that n1 and n2 are odd integers. We've got two different odd integers. Call them n1 and n2. Call them, Mary and Fred. I don't care what you call them. Our book uses these subscripts all over the place. So we'll go with that. N1 and N2, those are odd integers. And we want to write N1 and N2 in terms of K1 and K2, where K1 and K2 are integers. Okay, well, let's just follow the definition. We'll say that N1, since it's odd, I can write it as 2 times K plus 1. Well, they told me to write it in terms of K sub 1, so let's do it. I'll use K sub 1 plus 1. And then N sub 2, we could write that as 2 times K sub 2 plus 1. Now, you might get a different problem, and the book says, oh, yeah, I want you to use L1 and L2. We don't care. We could do that. So suppose you had a different problem. Somebody came along and told you to use L1 and L2. You say, no worries at all. Here I go. They're just symbols. This is almost like an exercise in reading definitions. So don't overthink it. Just use the variables that are given. And then that's half the problem, because sometimes people want to use their own letters. You have to use the ones that are given in the problem. So if they tell us to use L1 and L2, here we go, L1, and there's L2.